Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I had to make sure this microphone is on because I will do that. Forgetting you have trashy audio and I can't have that. But hello, how are you doing today? Oh, I've never asked you. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good week, weekend, day, or evening. I have a whole new project for you. I'm taking kind of a break from the basics because I had everything planned, but in reality, I don't really know what to do next. If you don't know, Mood Fabrics is a brand, of course, and they're also a website that has a blog, and on their blog, which if you go on a website, and this is like Society across the top, tap on that, and you will see they have a blog that's full of free patterns that goes way back to like 2012. So you can go on there and find a whole bunch of free patterns. I think majority of them go up to a size 30, which I think is a hip size of 60. But there's some that you have to really make sure that you read to know that they may just only go up to a certain size. But most of them go up to a size 30, which I think is spectacular. So the Kleinia blouse is the one that I'm doing today from Mood Fabrics, and it is a all-in-one shirt technically because it doesn't have any sleeves that you have to put in separately. It is just literally an all-in-one sleeve. So I guess it's just, to me, I just feel like it was something new that I've never done. And there's a bunch of French seams, which I've never done before. Yeah, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty. So before I talk too much, and links for this will be down below, I will see you back in a second after the tutorial. Well, sew-along, the sew-along. This blouse has a lot of French seams, so I'll give you a quick overview on how to do it. Pin your front yoke and front pieces together, wrong sides together, and stitch it 1/4 of an inch. Trim and fold the seam back on itself, right sides together. Then press the seam, making sure it's pressed as close to the stitching as possible. Now stitch it 1/4 of an inch away from the folded edge. It should look like this. Then press your seams down. Do the same thing on both backs and back yokes, pressing the seam downward. Match the front to the back as shoulder seam and side seams, wrong sides together. Stitch the shoulder seam and from the underarm to the bottom edge of the hem with a French seam as well. For the sleeve and neck edges, I rolled/narrow hemmed the raw edge because the French seam was a lot bulkier than my liking and was hard to feed into a rolled hem foot. For the back opening in the hem, I folded it and finished it with a narrow hem. The bottom I hemmed a little higher just because it's how I wanted it. It's all personal preference. You'll have to excuse me because I only had 7 buttons that I can make because my local store didn't have any and I ordered the wrong ones, so I ain't got time to be waiting for more buttons to come. So we got 7. On the back of your kit is a template for the fabric. You hear my cat in the background? On the back of your kit is a template for the fabric, which you will use to cut out your fabric. I added a little bit of Elmer's glue to the edges of the circle to help with fraying and to make it a little more stable. Take your mold and place the fabric on top of the opening. Place your button face smooth side down onto the fabric and press it into the mold, keeping the fabric as even all around as possible. Press the edges of the fabric towards the center. I then took some heavy-duty glue and adding it to the flat side of the wire closure and pressed it into the mold. Make sure you keep the edges of the fabric under the plate. Using your little topper that comes with the kit, you'll press down until it sort of clicks in, then pop it out. Don't worry if your button looks terrible. It takes practice Time and glue tends to help fix some spots that fray. Take your buttons and line them up evenly on the right back opening. Line up the left side so it's even, and mark approximately where the buttons are located on the other opening. Then make buttonholes at those markings. Open your buttonholes and overlap them on the right side opening, and mark where the holes open up and where your buttons should go. Then at those markings, you will hand stitch the buttons in place with just a simple thread and a needle. The only complaint about this blouse that I have is my own fault, because the green fabric I had on the front, I only had like less than a yard of it, and I did not anticipate not having enough, and the pattern was directional, so it was just kind of like, if I did it the wrong direction, it would have all of the plants going sideways, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be not pretty. So my only complaint is the fact that the satin, the green satin, is heavier than the black satin, because I just used scraps that I had around. So a lot of times it'll like drift backwards and I have to like pull it forward. But that's really it. It's really nice to wear. If you can see it, I think I can see it with like big bell-bottom pants, or like, I think I'm actually going to wear them in the clip that I showed. The big wide leg, that's the word I'm looking for. The wide leg pants, like, and be pulling at the waist, kind of like the girl did on the website. I think it's still pretty. And I tried to pull in the front with the back with the buttons so that it doesn't look too odd and not just like a misplaced front, and you actually get to see the buttons, because the buttons were kind of what sold me on this. So I still think it looks nice regardless of how much I messed up. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like if you wouldn't mind, and please subscribe. I upload every other week, and right now we've been doing the basic series, so I've just been doing some sew-alongs with some basic patterns that are beginner friendly and that everybody can do, and they should be in a good wide variety. Wide variety of sizes. So please join me there. I also have a cosplay coming up that I'm super excited for. It's literally an original character. It's not from anything else. But I'm really excited about that, and really excited to just be doing cosplay and costumes again in general. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I still use Twitter. And I have a Facebook page. I keep forgetting my Facebook page. So, and if you hadn't noticed, this is actually a shirt from last time that I wore in my basic series. So I'm giving it a try, trying to love it, all of that. But thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are. And I will see you folks next time. Bye.